Welcome back all you nerds to another devlog of our RPG project that is definitely not ripping off Zelda in the slightest. In the last devlog, we got our enemies to drop and pick up weapons, and in this devlog, we are taking a small turn. We finally got to implementing the main hook of our game, and we also added in a platypus. And that's definitely a weird transition. But anyways, let's hop into it. So thinking about the future of Windshire, I realized that after close to 50 devlogs, we still haven't implemented the main hook of the game, and that's honestly like really terrible. In addition, many of you watching may be new and not even know what the hook of the game is, so let me explain. The main hook of Windshire is that it will be extremely systemic and give the player a ton of freedoms. To put this in more basic terms, we're going to make sure that all the gameplay elements interact with each other and it lets the player do whatever he wants, however he wants. The first thing you think of when you hear the word interactable or systemic is probably either opening up a door or what I think of, explosions, and like a lot of them. So let's add in an exploding barrel. Though I had to be careful on how I went about this system because slamming your keyboard works for small one-off systems, this was going to be expanded upon, so I had to make it modular. A quick recap of how I decided to go about this: basically we have a base interact component that has an event on it. Then we have other scripts inherent from that base script, such as a collision interactable, which basically waits for a collision with a certain layer and then calls that interact event from that base script. This lets us add in new interactions extremely quickly and makes it extremely expandable. So to make the barrel actually explode, it was honestly a breeze. Well, not really. I ran into some really funny and desk breaking bugs, but taking a step away from the computer really helped, and I got the system in and ready to go. Now with this system in, it is so easy to add in new exploding elements such as a box, a barrel, a house, a big boy, and anything else you really wanted to implement. With the boom toys done with, I wanted to get in another more interesting interactable into the game. Well, it's less flashy but more interesting to implement because it was a falling box trap. This is something Perforator modeled up forever ago, but I never got around to getting it in, so now today is the day. Basically, this will hang up in a tree, a branch, or whatever else you really want it to hang from, and when the player shoots the rope holding it on, it will fall and capture whatever is below. One thing that making the game about nothing really helped me with was learning the hinge joints. Well, I still really don't know anything about how they actually work, but I do know how to connect them and make a pretty realistic looking rope, so I'm gonna call that a win. With this all implemented, I added in some box colliders to the trap, and since I needed to make it hollow in the center, I decided to use multiple box colliders and just line them up correctly so I do have that hollow center I needed. If you guys have a better idea on how to do this, let me know in the comments below. Finally, it comes to the easy part. I attached the script I made for explosions that detect collisions onto all the ropes and basically made a destroy interactable, which just simply either destroys a game object or a specific component on a game object. All I had to do was destroy the hinge joint component on the rope that was hit, and boom, it falls and captures whatever is below. So finally, after a year of waiting on our Discord servers, months of pleading, months of begging, I have finally decided to add in the platypus. Okay, so some of you may be new to the channel and they don't really know what's going on, but there has been a long time running joke on our Discord server, which you should like totally join in the description below. We would love to have you, to add in a platypus. They had an entire petition signed and everything and pleaded for it, so I think it was time to implement it a year later. I decided to use a platypus model I already had in game, and I just wanted to get it quickly in and just seeing how it would look. And well, it was honestly as simple as attaching a nav mesh and a wandering script onto it. And well, for the animation, I didn't have the platypus rigged, so I picked up something from another amazing game developer who goes by the name of Thin Matrix and made it waddle side to side. So I hope Deathstroke and Zephyr Sheep are happy for finally getting it into the game. Over these last 2 weeks, I have put so many hours into making the world for phase 2, and dang does it look beautiful. Starting out, I filled out the map with more trees just to make it look less barren, but I definitely want to come back and make it much more detailed. Following that, I carved out a nice little section for the first orc camp, which the patrons did get to see first, so if you're interested in checking out stuff before they come out on this devlog, go check out the Patreon page in the description below. But the idea for this camp would be that it's a research station that is studying these weird looking crystals they encountered, and once they mined into this mountain to find more, they found an enormous one, which is why they decided to make a camp in this area. After getting this camp to a place I like, I started on the town. This is the main town of the island, and it is a fishing establishment. When you think of a fishing town, you assume it would be small, but I honestly wanted this to be the biggest city in the game. A lot of its export is fish, but it is the first town people see when they arrive onto the island due to it being the biggest export town, and this is where people arrive onto the island on. Well, this is all I have for this devlog. If you enjoyed, comment sugar down in the comments below, and I will give you not only 1 cookie, but perhaps 3. Anyways, let's thank our Patreons. I wanted to give a huge thank you to Token. He has been helping us out for the longest time, man, and I just appreciate everything you do and the support you give. In addition, I wanted to give a huge thank you to Inconspicuous, Monsieur, Tajna, Michael, Dennis, and Deathstroke for finally becoming a Patreon again. Deathstroke, we missed you. You guys have been awesome, and I would love your support, and you guys have made this game what it is today. And finally, thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you guys in the next devlog. Peace.